My life as we move through life, especially after the rush of careers, raising children, and fulfilling various responsibilities. Many of us begin to ask what truly matters. How can we slow down and savor the moments that are left, rather than chasing after things that might not bring us the peace or fulfillment we long for? Over the years, I've found that simplicity, intentionality, and a slower pace can create a more meaningful life, especially for those of us in our later years. Here are 19 habits that help me simplify my life and find a greater sense of peace and presence. These ideas may seem small, but their impact can be profound, especially when embraced as part of a more intentional way of living. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. 1. 5 minutes of reflection. One of the simplest yet most profound habits I've adopted is taking 5 minutes of quiet reflection every day. In a world that often pushes us to be constantly busy, carving out this small pocket of time to just sit with my thoughts has become an anchor in my daily life. There's something special about allowing yourself to pause, to let your mind wander without agenda or purpose. For many of us who have spent decades working, raising families, and staying busy, this quiet time feels like a gift, a way to reconnect with ourselves. At this stage in life, we've gained so much wisdom, and reflection becomes a way to harvest the lessons we've learned over the years. These moments can also serve as a time to reflect on the many blessings in our lives, both big and small. Whether it's gratitude for a grandchild's smile, the warmth of a sunny day, or the love of a dear friend. These 5 minutes help us remember what truly matters. The habit of reflection is not about clearing your mind, but about letting your thoughts settle like dust after a storm until the important things rise to the surface. 2. Create device-free spaces. The world today is filled with noise, and much of it comes from the devices we carry with us everywhere. Our phones, tablets, and TVs have become constant companions, but they can also be barriers between us and the peace we crave. One of the best decisions I made was to create device-free zones in my home, spaces where the TV stays off, the phone is left in another room, and I am fully present. For me, these spaces include my bedroom and my dining room. In the bedroom, I find that I sleep better without the distraction of screens, and waking up without immediately reaching for my phone allows me to ease into the day with more clarity and intention. The dining room, free of distractions, becomes a place where meaningful conversations can flourish, whether with loved ones over dinner or during quiet moments of reflection. As we age, these device-free spaces become even more important. They remind us that the real world, the one we can touch, smell, and see without a screen, is full of beauty and connection. These spaces become sanctuaries where we can engage with the present moment, free from the constant pings and pulls of technology. It's a small change, but one that can greatly enhance the quality of our days. 3. Drive the speed limit and enjoy the journey. There was a time in my life when I felt the need to hurry everywhere, driving from one appointment to the next, rushing to get things done. But I've learned over the years that life isn't a race, and there's so much to be gained from simply slowing down. One small way I practice this is by consciously driving the speed limit. It might sound simple, but intentionally slowing down has become a powerful reminder to enjoy the journey, both on the road and in life. When you're not rushing from one place to another, you start to notice the world around you in ways you might have missed before. The sunlight filtering through the trees, the rhythm of people going about their day, the quiet moments that unfold along the way. All of these things become more visible when you're not in a hurry. For older adults who might not have the same time constraints we once did, this habit can be especially rewarding. It allows us to savor the beauty of each moment and to be more present in our everyday lives. So the next time you're on the road, try driving the speed limit, not just as a safety measure, but as a way to reconnect with the world around you. 4. Take the longer line. In a culture that values speed and efficiency, it might seem counterintuitive to intentionally choose the longest line at the grocery store. But this small act is a way of practicing patience and embracing the slower pace of life. For me, it's become a gentle reminder that not everything needs to be rushed, and that waiting, too, has its own rewards. Standing in a long line offers an opportunity to observe the world around you, to notice the kindness of a cashier, the way people interact, or simply to appreciate the quiet moments of pause that are so rare in our fast-paced world. It's also a chance to let go of the need to control every minute of the day, and to realize that a few extra minutes in line won't make a difference in the grand scheme of things. As we age, we begin to understand that life is not measured by how quickly we move through it, but by the quality of the moments we experience along the way. Choosing the longer line in some small way is a practice in living fully in each of those moments. 5. Prioritize time with family. There's a deep and abiding wisdom that comes with age, and one of the most important lessons I've learned is that time with family is irreplaceable. The truth is, our relationships with loved ones, whether it's our children, grandchildren, or close friends, are the most valuable things we possess. In our later years, these connections often take on even greater meaning as we reflect on the preciousness of time and the joy that comes from simply being together. I've made it a priority to spend as much time as possible with my family, and this has been one of the most fulfilling choices I've made. Whether it's a Sunday afternoon with my grandchildren, a quiet meal with my spouse, or a phone call with an old friend, these moments of connection fill my life with purpose and meaning. For many of us, family has been the cornerstone of our lives, and as we enter our later years, it's important to nurture these bonds. This may mean being present for family gatherings, offering support when needed, or simply taking the time to listen and share stories. In these moments, we are reminded of the love that surrounds us and the ways in which our lives are intertwined with those we hold dear. 6. Focus on one task each day. In our younger years, it's easy to feel like we need to accomplish a dozen things at once. But as we grow older, we begin to realize that life is not about how much we can get done in a day. It's about doing what truly matters and doing it well. That's why I've adopted the habit of focusing on just one meaningful task each day. Whether it's writing a letter, tending to a garden, or organizing old photographs, I choose one thing that will bring a sense of accomplishment and fulfillment. By giving my full attention to a single task, I find that I am more present and more engaged in the process. This practice also helps to reduce the overwhelm that can come from a long to-do list and allows me to savor the satisfaction of completing something that matters. For older adults, this approach to daily life can be especially rewarding. It reminds us that we don't need to be constantly busy to feel productive, and that sometimes the greatest joy comes from doing one thing with care and intention. 7. Plan tomorrow tonight. One of the simplest habits I have adopted to simplify my life is planning for the next day the night before. This small act of preparation can have a profound impact on how we feel when we wake up in the morning. By taking a few minutes in the evening to think about the day ahead, writing down my top priorities, laying out my clothes, and preparing my coffee, I set myself up for a calm and organized morning. This habit has become especially important as I've grown older. There's a sense of peace that comes from knowing what the next day will hold and from being prepared for it. Instead of waking up feeling scattered or stressed, I can start the day with a sense of purpose and direction. For those of us in our later years, when memory might not be as sharp as it once was, this habit can also help us stay on track with appointments, social engagements, and daily tasks. It's a simple way to reduce the mental clutter and create more space for the things that truly matter. 8. Wake up with consistency. One of the most powerful ways to simplify life is to create a consistent routine. For me, that starts with waking up at the same time each morning. I found that waking up early, before the rest of the world stirs, gives me a quiet space to begin the day with intention. Whether it's sipping a cup of coffee, reading, or just sitting quietly, these early morning moments have become a cherished part of my routine. There's something comforting about knowing that each day begins the same way. It brings a sense of rhythm and stability to life, especially in a time when the demands on our time may be different from those we faced in our working years. For those of us who have retired or whose schedules are more flexible, waking up with consistency can help us stay grounded and present. This habit also gives me a sense of control over my day. By waking up early and with purpose, I'm able to set the tone for a slower, more intentional pace, rather than feeling rushed or reactive to the demands of the day. 9. Write it down. As we age, it's natural to find that our memory isn't as sharp as it once was. But instead of letting that become a source of frustration, I've found that writing things down is a simple and effective way to stay organized. Whether it's a grocery list, an appointment reminder, or just a thought I want to remember, I make a habit of jotting it down. This small act not only helps to free up mental space, but also ensures that I don't forget important details. I keep a small notebook with me at all times, and it's become an indispensable tool in my daily life. Writing things down also allows me to be more intentional with my thoughts and ideas. Whether I'm brainstorming a new project, reflecting on a memory, or planning for the future, putting pen to paper helps me process my thoughts in a way that feels tangible and real. This habit has been especially helpful as I've gotten older, and it brings a sense of peace and order to my life. 10. Practice gratitude. In my younger years, it was easy to focus on what I didn't have or what I still wanted to achieve. But as I've grown older, I've come to understand that true happiness comes from appreciating what we already have. Practicing gratitude has become a daily habit that brings a sense of contentment and joy into my life. Each morning, I take a few minutes to think about the things I'm grateful for, whether it's my health, my family, a beautiful day, or a kind word from a friend. This simple practice shifts my focus away from what might be lacking and helps me see the abundance that's already present in my life. For older adults, practicing gratitude can be especially powerful. As we reflect on the experiences and relationships that have shaped our lives, we realize that even the challenges we've faced have brought lessons and growth. Gratitude helps us stay connected to the present moment and to the beauty that surrounds us each day. It's a habit that can transform our outlook and bring a deeper sense of peace and contentment. 11. Let go of what you can't control. One of the greatest lessons I've learned as I've grown older is that there are many things in life that are beyond our control. Whether it's the actions of others, the passage of time, or the outcome of certain situations, trying to control everything can lead to frustration and stress. I've learned to let go of the things I can't control and to focus instead on the things I can. This practice of letting go has brought a sense of freedom and peace into my life. It doesn't mean that I don't care about the challenges I face, but it does mean that I no longer waste energy trying to change things that are out of my hands. For older adults, this habit can be especially important. We may face health challenges, changes in our family dynamics, or shifts in our social circles. But by focusing on what we can control, our attitude, our actions, and our responses, we can find peace in even the most difficult circumstances. Letting go of control allows us to live with more grace and acceptance. 12. Declutter your space. Over the years, it's easy to accumulate things, whether it's clothes, books, or sentimental items. But I've found that having too much stuff can create a sense of chaos and clutter in my life. That's why I've made it a habit to regularly declutter my space. This doesn't mean getting rid of everything I own, but it does mean being intentional about what I keep. By letting go of things that no longer serve me, I create more room for the things that truly matter. This habit has been especially helpful as I've grown older. In my later years, I find that I don't need as much as I once did, and simplifying my surroundings has brought a sense of peace and order into my life. Whether it's clearing out a closet, organizing a drawer, or donating items I no longer use, the act of decluttering helps me feel lighter and more in control of my space. It's a small habit, but one that has a big impact on my overall sense of well-being. 13. Invest in experiences, not things. In my younger years, it was easy to get caught up in the pursuit of material possessions, whether it was a new car, a bigger house, or the latest gadget. But as I've grown older, I've come to realize that the things that truly bring me joy aren't things at all. They're experiences. Whether it's traveling to a new place, spending time with loved ones, or simply enjoying a quiet moment in nature, these are the moments that create lasting memories. That's why I've made it a habit to invest in experiences rather than things. For older adults, this shift in perspective can be especially meaningful. We may not have the same physical needs we once did, but the desire for connection, adventure, and growth remains. By prioritizing experiences over possessions, we create a life rich with meaning and purpose. 14. Move your body every day. One of the most important habits I've adopted as I've grown older is making time for daily movement. Whether it's a walk in the park, a gentle yoga session, or simply stretching, moving my body each day has become a vital part of my routine. As we age, it's easy to become more sedentary, but I found that staying active helps me feel more energized and connected to my body. It's not about pushing myself to the limit, but about finding ways to move that feel good and keep me healthy. For older adults, daily movement is essential for maintaining physical and mental well-being. It helps to improve mobility, reduce the risk of injury, and boost mood. Whether it's a short walk around the neighborhood or a dance class, finding ways to move every day is a habit that brings vitality and joy. 15. Simplify your wardrobe. Over the years, I've come to realize that I don't need a closet full of clothes to feel stylish or comfortable. In fact, simplifying my wardrobe has brought a sense of ease and freedom into my life. By curating a collection of timeless, versatile pieces that I love, I've eliminated the stress of decision-making and reduced the clutter in my closet. For older adults, simplifying your wardrobe can be especially helpful. We may no longer need the business attire or formal wear we once did, and focusing on comfortable, practical clothing can make getting dressed each day a breeze. 16. Cultivate meaningful hobbies. One of the joys of later life is having more time to pursue hobbies and interests that bring a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Whether it's gardening, painting, writing, or volunteering, finding activities that bring joy and meaning is a habit I've embraced. For older adults, hobbies can provide a sense of purpose and connection, and they offer an opportunity to continue learning and growing. 17. Spend time in nature. There's something deeply restorative about spending time in nature, and as I've grown older, I've made it a priority to get outside as often as I can. Whether it's a walk in the park, tending to a garden, or simply sitting outside, being in nature helps me feel grounded and connected to the world around me. For older adults, spending time in nature can provide a sense of peace and well-being, and it's a habit that can greatly enhance quality of life. 18. Embrace mindfulness. One of the most powerful habits I've adopted is practicing mindfulness, the art of being fully present in each moment. Whether it's while eating, walking, or simply sitting quietly, mindfulness has helped me to slow down and appreciate the beauty of life. For older adults, mindfulness can be a way to stay connected to the present moment and to find peace in the midst of life's challenges. 19. Choose joy. Above all, I've learned that joy is a choice. No matter what challenges or hardships we face, we can choose to find joy in the small moments of each day. Whether it's a cup of tea, a phone call with a friend, or a beautiful sunset, joy is always available to us if we choose to see it. For older adults, choosing joy is a powerful way to stay connected to the beauty of life, and it's a habit that brings peace and fulfillment into each day.